Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're so inclined, or if you don't like it. There's a million other readers in the world and on YouTube. I don't know if there's a million, but there might be, but there's a whole lot. So happy Tuesday. So I tuned in asking, what is the vibe? What is the energy? And I started to feel a little unsettled, which I don't think there's anything bad going on that is specific to today or so it's nothing, I'm not getting any big red flags like don't leave the house or anything like that. Don't worry about it, but just live your life. You got to live your life. Stuff's going to happen to anybody, anywhere, anytime. And this is a general reading. But what I very clearly got for someone or a group in the collective, because I feel like there's always more than one that the messages will fit for, because that's the point of a general reading. And what I heard was that someone is going to be a witness. So someone is going to witness something, and I feel like it's not just today. It could go over into Wednesday a little bit, but someone is going to be a witness to, this could be something big or small. You might witness some kind of, always be safe, always take care of yourself. But I feel like that there are multiple ways that this could take place. At the easiest and I guess not the least impactful, because it could have a lot of impact. In fact, I think this will have a lot of impact. But I know, get to it. But I feel like someone or a section of the collective will be a witness to a truth of that someone is going to say something, and there's a whole bunch of people that are going to go, whoa. It's sort of like people are going to bear out their truth. So I'm not sure what that's about. But it's, yes, there's going to be a group in the collective that are going to be witness to and bear witness to the truth. And I'm hearing falling out. So I feel like this is going to cause a falling out with a group. Okay. I don't think they want me to say anything more than that, because I'm not getting anything else based on that. But by sundown or the close of the day, or, but by the very end of the day, what is it, Hazelette? Hazel's making noise and coming in now. Agatha wasn't here. Normally they don't come in when I am doing readings in here. Hi, baby. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I feel like something is going to be solidified and people are going to witness a truth. And it's going to be so undeniable that people can't, or the people involved as the witnesses to whatever's happening, someone's going to say something so blatantly a lie. So, okay, and I'm hearing tread lightly. They want me to tread lightly. So, okay, well, okay. Let's see, what else could that relate to? No, I think that's about it. I was thinking, ow, 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 Hazel, you honey, those claws are sharp. Her kind of love hurts. It does, it hurts. All right, I see you, baby, I see you. Okay. So yeah, I was thinking even like someone might be witness to a corporate type crime or something like that. And I still think that's possible, but that feels further back now. That feels further away. Or it's more Hazel, oh God, honey. When she latches on, huh. Anyway, maybe that's spirit telling me time to move on. All right. So let's move on. And I did try something new today. I have my shiny mug. I love iridescent and opalescent. You all know that. This one is, This one is cold, and it's iced coffee. Woohoo! Who would have thought? Iced coffee. So anyway, it's actually pretty good. Pretty much that means just make some coffee and put ice in it. Yeah. I know, I'm just kind of meandering today. In no rush, in no hurry. All right, we're good. Tell you what, let's go to get some readings. And this I really like. It's a thermal mug. It's, what is the brand? Corksicle. I don't know if you can see it. I found it at a one of the like outlet type. It's not an outlet, but anyway, where they have, I don't know. There's probably a scratch on it somewhere. I don't know, and you get it for like, you know, a lot less. So yeah, it's really nice though. And it does keep things very hot or very cool. All right, so no, this is not a paid commercial for Corksicle. Oh my God, Hazel, you're killing me, baby. You're killing me. All right. Magical messages from the fairies. You know, anyone else would say, you know, you really probably should stop this video and try again. We're going to keep on going. All right. Because that's what we do. Woohoo! All right. Now, let's see what the general vibe and message is from the magical messages from the fairies. So, creator of all that is, they're saying, before I even go any further, I got to take the one off the top. Whom do you need to forgive? Hey, hey. Okay. Sound like the beginning of a cheer. I got to put my glasses on. Hold on. How many times do I say that? I just need to put them on before I even start. As you release old anger or resentments, you will find that your wishes will come true. Isn't that the truth? And I'll tell you why. So, you don't have to forget about stuff. You don't have to forget how someone did you wrong. You don't have to forget anything. What you can do is release the anger or the frustration or the lack of, you didn't see karma play out. Trust me, karma will always play out, whether it's on this side of living or the afterlife. They will have to understand and feel what they made you feel. So that's good motivation for all of us to keep it clean, right? So you can ameliorate some of that by offering like if you have a situation from your past and all of a sudden it just doesn't push any buttons any longer, that person may have energetically said, I am so sorry to all I have hurt. I am so sorry for all the wrongs I've done. And you are energetically feeling that. Or perhaps it's just all you and it doesn't trigger you any longer. But one way or the other, the perpetrator, the aggressor, whatever you want to call it, the wrongdoer, and you know, everything is a lesson. All the things that, like, I'll use myself as the example because I know I won't offend anybody. There have been some really bad situations in my life, during my lifetime, really bad. And I wish a lot of them hadn't happened. I wish all of them hadn't happened. But let's be realistic. If they hadn't, it would have made me a very different person. Now, that's not excusing anyone's bad behavior at all. It would have been nice if there had been fewer opportunities for other people to learn too. But we all carry a certain amount of responsibility as well. So, whom do you need to forgive? And I think the first person that every one of us needs to forgive is ourselves. If you are not familiar with Ho'oponopono, it's a Hawaiian practice, and I have done it, and it is absolutely wonderful. The book I read, I went through like a 7-hour seminar. You know, it was just the video version of it, but it was more than 7 hours. Well, anyway, I can't remember now. But it was a workshop that was filmed, and then it was released, and you could get it and go. Yeah, and then one of the guest speakers at that seminar was the original person who brought it to the forefront. And then the kind of new age guy who then marketed it and, you know, which, that's the only way it came forward. So good for him. And, but one of the speakers they had there talking about her experiences with Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono, Ho apostrophe Oponopono. Her name is Mabel Katz, Katz, Mabel. She has a Facebook page. She also has a book called The Easiest Way. I think she explained it in the most succinct, accessible, and practical way possible. 4 simple phrases. 4 simple phrases. You can use one, you can use all 4, you can say them in any order. It doesn't matter. And it took me I learned about it a long, long time ago, but I was still so angry all the time that it took me a long time to realize I wasn't saying these 4 things to other people. I was saying it to myself. So that's where the self-forgiveness comes in. And you're saying, well, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. I just showed up, or I was just born. Well, true, but think about all the times that maybe all those bad, gosh, this is a heavy one. But think about all of the bad situations that we've put ourselves in. And I've tried to take ownership of that, or maybe ways that I didn't handle things in the best possible way. So the 4 phrases to help make this clear, it's, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And I may have the exact order the way it's taught wrong, but it really doesn't matter what order you say it in. The best way I can explain it, and after hearing that, I'm sure you can understand why, like, my reaction might be yours, is that, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm thinking of the person who did me so wrong. Blah, 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 blah. No, that's not it at all. You're saying it to yourself. The easiest way to start, you can look in a mirror and do this, or you can just sort of go within and hold yourself. I did it this way. I would hold my arms around myself. And it's a good idea to do an energy retrieval before and after, and call back your hope at night. Now, the energy retrieval, you can also insert hope, joy, patience, whatever words you want. But energy retrieval is a 5-minute video that I have put a link on the community section. If you go to the homepage for this channel, and then you look under the community link, under community, I put a link in there that's a working link that'll send you to a 5-minute video I made about doing an energy retrieval, calling back all your energy. Please at least try it. But only if it resonates with you, okay? You have free will. So this, I guess, is going to be the Ho'oponopono talk or video. So it's, and there's a lot that goes into it. So I would suggest you get her book. You can get it on Amazon. Super easy peasy. But you can, it was a Dr. Liu, I think, Lieu or Lu. I don't remember. He's Hawaiian. Anyway, and he passed several years ago, I think. But anyway, he's the one that openly talked about it, and people started to learn about it. Okay, so, but Mabel Katz, her book is great. So the 4 phrases, a good way to get started if you just want to try it, because you've got nothing to lose. You can always just stop and say, this is crap, I'm not doing this, and then be done with it. Or you can try it and see what happens, okay? So it's, I love you. And you're saying it to yourself. Translation, I love me. Thank you I am so grateful to be me. I'm so grateful I have survived. Oh my gosh. I am so, I love myself. Because if you can't say that, if you can't say you love yourself, that's big. And I think that is one of the hardest things for people to do, is look in the mirror and say, I love you. And you're talking to yourself, your own reflection. It is hard to say. And I hope all of you get to the point where you really can do it and do it with meaning. So I love you. You can say, I love me, if that helps. Please forgive me. You're not saying that to anyone else. You're saying it to yourself. You're saying, hey, self, please forgive me for putting us in that situation. Please forgive me for not realizing until now that I was chasing after someone who was rude and cruel to me, or I didn't, or I was doing things that weren't in my best interest, or I was being too self-deprecating all the time, or I'm so sorry, me. I apologize to myself. That's basically what that means. You're not doing it to anyone else. This is all internal and about you. Okay? So, I love you. I'm sorry. Or no, I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Well, I think I just screwed those up. I don't remember. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. All that's the same. You don't even have to use both of those if you don't want to. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Thank me. Thank you. Thank you for surviving. Thank you for getting through this. Thank you for being a good friend to other people. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for not giving up. That's what that means. So if you say those 4 phrases, or even 2 or 1 or whatever, and it's not for just the big stuff. It could be anything. Like Mabel Katz talked about how she used it to get her perfect home. It could be I've used it when I've been driving long distance and then there was road construction and they put that weird kind of partial concrete wall and you're right next to it and there's no margin for error and people are bumper to bumper and there's big trucks whizzing by and you're white knuckling it. I hate that. And then of course it rains, So I did Ho'opono with that. So it's, I love you, I thank you. Or no, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. Okay, I love you, thank you, please forgive me. That's enough. I don't remember the rest now. Okay, so, but the point is, I kept doing the mantra. I just said it over and over again. And all of a sudden, people backed away from each of my bumpers, front and rear. There was a cushion in between me. I didn't feel as pressured. My anxiety eased up. And when my anxiety eased up, everything around me started to ease up as well. Okay. That was a big old long explanation, and I didn't do a very good job of it. I really am a better teacher than that, promise. But, some days. Maybe it's the fact that I used iced coffee instead of hot coffee. Who knows? All right. No, not those. Inner child. Okay, I guess we're still going to work on the inner stuff today. All right, so what am I using? I am using the Inner Child Oracle. Da, da, da. It's a pretty deck. I really like the back of it. The colors. All right. Mother and Father God, creator of all things, all that is. Archangels, Ascended Masters, come into this space, come into this reading. Guide and direct us in all ways and at all times. Please use me as a translator from Spirit. Help me to know what to tell the collective. Help me to understand what are the messages. What are the messages today? I'm hearing don't be afraid. So I'm hearing don't be afraid. They just want me to leave it at that. Don't be afraid. Okay, the card that just fell out is card 31. Seek guidance in this. It is time for a different perspective. And I asked Spirit, I'm like, well, you told me not to extrapolate or go on further with don't be afraid. So now we got a card that kind of says seek help. I think with that, no, I'm not going to say I think. I know what Spirit is telling me. For some of you, it's don't be afraid to reach out to counseling. If you need it, get it. Anything else? No, that was it. Okay. There's no shame in it. I was in an extraordinarily abusive marriage for about 5 years in my youth. And I had to do like a Jason Bourne kind of exit strategy to get out of it. I put myself in therapy right after. I had to go in on a sliding scale. Couldn't even afford that because I didn't have insurance at the time. But I was there for 2 years. And I truly credit that counselor, who she has retired since, But she will always hold a fond place in my heart because I think without her, I have no idea how bad my life would have gotten. It was already pretty bad. Um, Counseling and therapy is important. It is a valid tool to use. You don't have to go to the first counselor you talk to. I went through several before, and a couple of them were guys and freaked me out and wanted to just medicate me and dull me. And I'm like, I don't trust all this. And finally, I just looked at the guy like second visit. I'm like, I don't trust you, so I'm out of here. And so I left. I'm like, I'm not taking this. And they just wanted to flatline me. So I finally found through however many channels, and so sometimes you have to work for your wellness and seek guidance. There is no shame in therapy. I credit that with providing me with coping skills. Now, was everything perfect? No. I still had a lot of learning to do and a lot of growing up to do. But it taught me coping skills, and I credit that 2 years with saving my life. I really do, and the rest of it. So, it was a really abusive marriage and awful. All right, card 23. Let it go. Let go of all that no longer serves you. All right, I've heard this before. But if you go to therapy, you're constantly rehashing it and you never get past it. You look at it, you address it so that you can let it go and move on. And then, there are people who know a lot. Like when I was younger, it was like I had to tell everybody every detail of my, I'm like, this is what it was, this is all, And now, there are people that, I waited months and months before even mentioning it. And it was like, yeah, it was pretty bad. And, I just, he wasn't a nice person. So, but it doesn't trigger me any longer. It doesn't trigger me because I know I have power and control over my life, and I do my best not to put myself in situations, which I didn't know that's what I was doing then. In hindsight, I can. So, you know what? It's just like with anything. If you don't see that there is an issue, if you don't stop, look at it, acknowledge it, and evaluate it, then how are you going to heal it? It'd be like if you had a compound fracture. You got a bone sticking out, place it shouldn't be. And people say, just rub a little gel on that and put a Band-Aid on it. It'll be fine. Just ignore it. You would think that person had lost their minds. I was going to say their ever-loving mind. Okay? No. That's not the way you handle a compound fracture. Okay? It's broken through the skin. It could set up with gangrene. You can't function. You could die. So no, you don't. There are some things you just don't ignore. And so that's the same thing with mental health and going to see a counselor. So you look at it, you deal with it, you address it. And there are also a lot of self-help books you can read along the way. Now, you don't want to spend 40 years looking at the same thing and constantly pointing fingers, but maybe it's going to take you 40 years. I don't know. Everybody is at their own pace. Things will trigger me for sure. Like there are certain things I just don't watch because I know. It's like, I can't remember when it was. I think it was a few months ago. There was a show on and there was a scene in it that just, I could feel myself getting numb. And I said, we can't watch this. I can't watch this. And you don't have to explain yourself. Just say, you know what, if you want to watch this, please pause it and I'm going to go somewhere else, but I can't watch this. I'm going to bet if it's someone who is genuinely caring and courteous, they're going to say, oh, wow, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, no problem. No problem. So you know what? Learn how to take care of yourself, and taking care of yourself means you address it. I sure did not expect this to be a self-help day. Card number 7, breathe in. Practice breath work daily. Most of us don't breathe deeply enough. I'm bad about it. I'm bad about not breathing deeply enough. So take a moment, breathe deeply. There's a whole practice of breath work. Not my thing. I don't know much about it. I have realized that I breathe so shallowly sometimes that when I do breathe deeply, I get dizzy. Yeah. So, okay, I'm also hearing it's more than that. And I'm being told that for someone, oh, Hazel, honey, God, her claws are sharp. And no, I can't trim them. So, when you breathe in, breath is life. And so when you breathe and breathe deeply as part of your practices, someone is receiving information on their breath. So someone is receiving like psychic information and downloads. Someone is receiving downloads with their breath and through their breathing. And someone who is an energy worker, when they breathe out, they are breathing out their healing intent with their breath, not using their own energy. We have to be a conduit for that, okay? But pretty firm about that. But from the palm chakras and your breath, okay, something about that for someone. And they're saying, I don't have to worry about anything else. This was just a gentle reminder because you know who you are. Okay. So if something feels like, oh, wish I could just get to that next level or the intensity, you've got it. You've been there, talent guides. Yeah, so someone is telling you, you've got it. You've already done it. But call your energy back, 1. And 2, remember to do the breathing exercises. Soulful appreciation. The guides and the guardians are saying they appreciate the work you do, and it is healing. It is absolutely healing work. All right, so the deck I've got right now, and this will be the last one, Energy and Spirit Oracle. Okay, well, this was a very different kind of reading today, but I think it's an important one. All right. Thank you. What is the message? What is the final for today? Message for the collective. All right, well, that just kind of went flying out sideways. Prophets and ancient seers. Decisions, predictive guidance. Yeah. Someone is getting downloads. Someone is embracing the word psychic. Someone is embracing the word medium. It is not the same. A lot of people mistake it for witchcraft. A lot of people mistake it for, and you practice whatever makes your heart fly and sing. You know what? You do you. But what I'm saying is that when I say I'm just an old-fashioned psychic medium, it's born this way. It's not tied to a practice. It's not tied to, I mean, there are certain things I incorporate just because I always like to have my guides and my guardians. But it is much bigger than any ritual, okay? So it's not something to be afraid of. People who are psychic mediums, it's who we are. It's what we do. And no, we don't just walk through life going, oh, la 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 la, whatever. We don't, bombing someone with a big mediumship message or psychic message is so against my ethics. Everyone has a right to their own privacy, and I don't want to dip into anybody's energy unless they give me permission. Sometimes you can't help it if they're really a good projector and they're thinking towards you. Sometimes you can't help it, but you keep that to yourself. You know, you don't just run over and say, hey, you know. Yeah. It's who you are. Understand that. It's who you are. And more than likely, I do believe there is a genetic component, and that's why when we choose a family to come into, Sometimes if you feel very different from them and you're like, who are these people? But yet you have a similarity in abilities. I think that's sometimes the reason why. But you came in because you wanted that genetic code so you could do what you needed to do in an earthly human body. But it is, if people can learn to say certain things that or dogmatic practices. Anyone can learn that. But who you are is who you are at the core. And because one of the biggest messages that I think most psychic mediums give is that you have free will and you listen to your connection to the all that is. You listen to your connection to spirit. Your body is your biggest psychic tool. If anyone says, oh, well, you can't do that without me, run. And run fast. Okay? If someone says, oh, I can get rid of an attachment with you to you for $5,000, now run. Go quickly away. Okay? There are a lot of con artists out there. Now, yeah, people need to be paid for their work. And I've done a lot of crossing work. A lot of it I have not been paid for. The few times I have been, it's usually because I'm clearing an office space or a home or getting it ready to sell or whatever. And I can promise you, yeah, it's not exactly a money-making venture, and they're far and few in between, to the point that I'm thinking about going back to work for the state. Yay. But anyway, everything has a purpose. So, point is, someone is stepping into their authenticity with the work and understand. Some people may not understand it and have a lot of negativity about it, but you know who you are. And what some people don't understand, well, I know I can only speak for me, but I stay in a prayerful state all the time. So be well, take care of yourselves. This is a weird one. This is a really odd session. I know it is. And I'm sorry if it's, yeah, we've touched on a whole bunch of stuff, but the core of it, I think, is self-care and practices that you can do to take care of yourself, whether it's learning about Ho'oponopono, the Mabel Katz book I like the best personally, whether it's through, like Mel Robbins does a lot of podcasts about that, Robbins. She does the high five. So instead of standing in the mirror and saying you love yourself, she just wants you to high five yourself in the mirror. She goes into a lot more description, so you might want to watch her podcast about that. Or if you need therapy, and maybe you do need medication. Like for me at the time, I did not need to be medicated. I needed cognitive talk therapy. I did not have a chemical imbalance in my brain, but they wanted to make me a zombie so they wouldn't have to deal with me. And because I didn't have money, just medicate her. Get her to shut up. Well, it's time that we talk. So, I almost got a shirt that said, I'm speaking. Anyway, take care of yourselves. I think I'm going to stick with the hot coffee. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Okay? I'm sending you so much love, and you can do this. Bye-bye.